Mr. Jacklich, what is going on today?
Everything.
Okay. Well, then you've somehow carved time out for us today. I really, really appreciate that. That's nice. We'll try to keep this short and sweet today because if you've got everything on your plate.
This is part of everything.
Oh, I see. So we are planned, and so we're actually part of it. So that's cool.
This is like one of the most important everythings of the day.
Well, guys, there you have it. You know, thanks for hanging out with us again for another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. Brent Abel here, that dude over there, Jeff Jacklich, still in Pontiac, Michigan for just a couple more weeks or so, I think.
Yeah, well,
Is that about right?
Yeah,
maybe 3 more weeks.
About 3 more weeks. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. The Wesson Lawn Tennis Club.
Yeah.
Guys, we've been talking about the slice backhand for this will be the 4th day in a row. And the reason is because, well, 2 things. Number one, absolutely, you got to have a slice backhand if you're going to be able to compete, whether it's singles or doubles. If you're thinking that the one-handed topper is going to get the job done for you, it's not. And if you're thinking, well, I better then go to a two-handed topper, I think that what's going to happen with that effort is we'll be on episode like 3,218 before it actually starts to maybe work if the ball's set up on the tee for you. Not that, look, you may already have the great two-hander, and that's cool. But if you don't, wow, that is surgery. That is like that's Mayo Clinic type stuff right there.
The psychological impact alone.
That's right.
Is going to put you on medication, you know.
I'm getting a headache just thinking about it. So we're talking about that, and but also next week, starting the week of September 9th on Monday, we're going to really dig into the slice backhand. We got 3 secrets that we want to share next week with you guys on it. That we got one big thing we got to convince you of, and we're gonna hammer that one big thing home until, if you're not a believer, you're going to go, I do believe at some point next week. In the meantime, we're kind of coughing up some stories about the slice backhand. My experience last year in Umag in Croatia for the World Cup, Senior World Cup, and on the orange/red clay, and why it's imperative that you've got one. And look, there were some guys last year actually I played against who only had a two-handed backhand. And when I saw that, I just said, God, I mean, this is like a little baby boy in a candy store.
Right.
I mean,
this is going to be so fun.
My God. Anyway, so look, I'm not bragging. I'm not saying anything.
Do it again.
I'm just telling you. It's an opportunity, and it's like, well, it's like what we talked about recently in our playbook in the 7 gold ball winning plays for singles players. That's one of the things that you can check out in the warm up. You've never seen this guy. Obviously, I've never seen these guys who are from Finland and from Germany and from South America. I mean, South Africa. Where else? Denmark, England. Never seen these guys play. Yeah. So in the warm-up, I'm assessing them, and I'm looking at some of these guys. All they've got is the two-hander. They've not let go once in the warm-up. Okay, all right. Well, I got a little test for you.
Right. There's a little pop quiz.
Let's see how this is going to go.
Exactly.
Guys, listen, we got something, but before we get into that today, excuse me, I want to just mention Jeff and I are offering a free 10-minute, could be 12, could be 15-minute private, just the 3 of us, coaching call, where we really want to dig into one thing in your game that's really not working out for you, something maybe you just cannot figure out. Could be technique on one of your strokes, could be tactics or strategy, could be mental, could be physical. A lot of categories that we could dig into. But bring just one thing, because we got to limit the call. We can't just go on forever on this thing. We might have to ask you to open up a wallet if we did that. But the 10, 12, 15-minute thing, you know what, it's on us. So listen, if you want to jump on that call with us, just go over to goldballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, click the button, you get access to our calendar, online calendar, where you get to pick a date and time that works best for you. So, Jeff, what's on your mind today, man?
Well, a lot of times, in talking about the slice backhand, I get this, I hear this quite a bit, like, but you can't return, in doubles, you can't hit a slice return because it floats up. I can't do that in dubs because the guy's just going to poach. So the first answer is nothing could be farther from the truth. And two, I know that you know that I know that you know. We both have experiences, in using, the slice in doubles, the backhand slice. So enlighten us with with some doubles experience using the slice in dubs.
Yeah, last year played, I guess, 3 of the doubles matches, and yeah, I mean, the one thing I discovered pretty early on is that some countries, for whatever reason, they just don't believe in it. They don't believe in the slice, right? So it's kind of a two-handed deal. And so what happens with that, if you're kind of restricted to the two-hander, the chances of you playing serve and volley in doubles is most likely not going to happen because either because you don't feel comfortable up at net.
Right.
And believe me, I saw this a couple times last year where some guy I knew didn't feel comfortable at net. His partner would be serving, and as his partner could hear the ball being hit, start backing up. And I'm going, well, this guy's not poaching.
Ever.
He stopped poaching from 2 feet behind his service line.
Right.
And in fact, I hope he stays there because I am going to knife this little serve, and I'm going to come in, and either my partner or I are going to get a ball that we're going at this player's feet. And so, but that's a little bit off topic. Look, guys, Jeff, you're absolutely right. You can say by definition, well, I can't slice a backhand because that's going to float. It is going to float. But what are the chances of someone actually poaching? Not very good. And if they show you early in the match that they're going to poach a lot, why wouldn't you just lob them? Just here you go, dude. You want to cross? Go. I'm lobbing. Or I'm taking a ball, especially on the clay, on second serves where the ball's sitting. All right, I'm going to take this forehand. I think I'm going right at you.
Right.
And if you want to poach on that one, I guess you won't be there when I go right at you because you will have vacated that spot. So look, I mean, Jeff, you're so right. Look, a guy can get away with it once or twice. That's fine. He's got to prove to me that my slice backhand. And first of all, if I do have a guy over there that is serving and volleying, my slice backhand's not floating. No, it's not going to float.
You got to get the guy down in the dirt a little bit. You know, a little. Depending on terminology, kind of a slang a little bit. It's just a little knockdown return. A little knockdown slice. You can knife it hard, or even a little knockdown chip. Ball's just kind of dead in the water. Is a little dump truck over across the net, and with and again, that be careful. Players have this habit. Especially league players have this habit of projecting what they think the other guy is going to do, or what they think is going to happen. If I do this, then he's going to do this. Guess what? Probably not. Has the guy shown you? Has the gal shown you that she's going to be that active at the net?
Right.
Because I got to tell you, if the serve is not that big, they're probably not going to be that active because they're just like we talked about the other day. It's like Secret Service, man, taking the bullet, jumping out there in front of the loaded backhand, right?
That's right.
So I think the reality is that the slice backhand return, the little chip return, cross court and dubs, and is an essential element of a tool that needs to be in your toolbox. And then, of course, here's the other great one is how often in the 70s now do you use a second serve? Do you come in and actually do the dropper cross court?
A ton, because first of all, the second serves in the 70s, and let's be realistic. I mean, the second serve in the 60s, excuse me, or the 65s. Let's drop down another age group in the 55s. It's all relative, right? It's better in the 55s than in my age group. But the guys who are in the 55s are younger and stronger and quicker, and so it's all relative, right? So on the clay, especially, the second serves have a tendency to sit a little bit, and that means that most of the guys don't want to deal with you slicing another backhand down at their feet, and so what do? Well, they stay back, and so why not show them if they stay back? Because all right, I don't want to deal with you with a knifing slice at my feet. Show them one time where you go ahead and you approach off that sitting second serve deep. Show it to them one time, and they go, whew, okay, this is good. And then you start dropping, and then you start dropping, and then they start coming in, and then you start going deeper, and then they start going, well, now what do I do? Now they start really coming in. Now you lob, and so. The only way you can do that effectively is with a slice. Can you hit a drop shot return to serve off a sitter when you try to top it? No. You cannot do that. And if there's someone out there saying, well, let's just top a short one because it'll drop. What? No. That's not going to work. Don't listen to that person.
Much higher risk and totally unnecessary.
That's right. So, absolutely. I mean, there's really a great opportunity. And look, guys, you got to start feeling way more in charge of your return to serve in general, number one.
Right.
And number two, you've got to stop thinking, well, I've got to top every backhand, because if I don't, then the guy's going to poach. No, they're not. If I don't, then the server over there, the ball might come back. In the words of Dick Johnson, I'm sorry, but in the words of the great Dick Johnson, who unfortunately is no longer with us, but who amassed, I don't know, let's call it 60 gold tennis balls, right? And I just happen to have, I'm the last guy to have won a gold ball with this guy, right?
Wow.
It was the last year, right before he unfortunately passed away, but in the finals, finally, we end up winning the finals, and we go upstairs, and I go, you know what? I don't get it, man. I don't think you missed a return the entire week. I don't think you missed a return of serve. I mean, you certainly didn't today in the finals. Better guys, a little tense.
Right.
What's going on? He says, well, I just try to get the ball back cross court, and I just assume that the guy's going to get it back to me. And then he said the magic works was, he says, and then we'll just take it from there. Kind of like, you mean you're okay to stay in the point. You're okay to let the guy touch the ball over there.
Right.
And I guess that's a winning formula. I guess 60-plus gold balls later might be a winning formula. I don't know.
Maybe we should listen to the guy.
So look, I don't know how I got off on that tangent other than,
well, it's all about the first is the chip or the slice return, and like you've really got to take a look at your opponent. How active are they, and what's the reality of their ability at the net?
Yeah,
I've had guys who are really active that really don't volley that well. Okay, then I really don't care whether you poach or not, because so far it hasn't been detrimental to our ability to break serve.
Yeah, I mean, and look, there are some mad poachers out there, but I find that if I get a certain ball to my backhand, if it's not up, especially on a first serve, and most guys would prefer, I think, to poach off the first and the second, in theory. Right. So I can now, just like you can, I can take it on the rise, not crazy on the rise, but I'm not doing the Paul Anacone thing, but I can flatten it. I don't have to come over it. I can just bump it flat. I can borrow the pace, and boom, it's back over there before the guy gets out of the blocks to poach.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ways to negate that.
Yeah.
To negate that service partner. And so, listen, guys, slice backhand, you got to have one. If you don't, you're limiting yourself. And we don't want you to limit yourself. We want you to play consistently at the top of your skill level. Remember that skill level range thing? That thing. And if you're super ambitious, then we want to help you start bumping up and start playing with the big boys up there at that next skill level, or the big gals up there at the next skill level. So, look, I think we've done it for today, Jeff. Let's mention one more time the free coaching call. Just go over to goldballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, click the button. You get access to the online calendar, scheduler, pick a time and date that works best for you. And Jeff will give you a call at that appointed time. Free, private, the three of us in a phone call. What could be better? Bring that one thing, though. One thing. Jeff, what do we want the fine folks to do right now?
Like us. Share us. Please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below. It's just so rough, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, do that. Let us know what you think, because we want to know. We want to know what's on your mind, and what are your challenges, and maybe there's a subject that we've only done a little brief dusting of, and you want us to dive deeper on. We'd love to do it. So let us know, and also if you're on iTunes and/or Stitcher, rate and review, please.
Totally. Great stuff. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. In the meantime, until tomorrow, get out there today. Help someone else have a great day. Jeff, we are doing this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.
Boom,